Hey people, it's been a while since I've put anything on here. Um, this this life of cancer is definitely not a fun life. I mean, we are beyond stressed at this point. We did um, we did post on our Facebook page in February that the 6 month scans and the cystoscopy came back clear, and it did. There are two different urine tests that they run on him called, one is just a baseline, to see if there's any blood, and the other one is a cytology that gets sent off. So we had to wait an extra 2 weeks, and we did not know why. It's usually within a couple days. But we had to wait 2 extra weeks, and we started getting antsy about it because, we're not getting any information, and, everything had been clear as far as, testing, all of the CT, everything was clear. So, we got pretty nervous when we hadn't heard from them in 2 weeks. So we called, I believe it was on a Friday. The days just go by. But anyway, I think it was on a Friday, we called and talked to a nurse, and she put it in the system that, we needed a call back about the test results. So the doctor called the following Monday, and he said he hadn't gotten it back, that he'd sent it off for a second testing. Well, then we really are, nervous. So we wait another, I think it was 2, maybe 3 days. He did call back, and it came back positive for high grade urothelial carcinoma. So, needless to say, we were devastated because you've got all of your normal testing comes back good, and then all of a sudden, we got all of our friends are hyped up, the family's hyped up because everything came back clear. So we haven't told any. The only ones we've told is our son and his wife, and so we haven't told anybody that he's now battling cancer again. It's tough. I'm waiting on him to make the calls. He's really not wanting to make the calls because you get asked so many stupid questions when you make these phone calls from family. So he's really not looking forward to telling them. But anyway, to make a long story longer, we met. He had just had they called and said it's positive, so they scheduled us to come in. I believe it was let's see, this is April now, second week of March, I believe. He went back in and was put under again, and they took samples of the bladder and the prostate. The prostate was not in the mix in the beginning. It was just going to be samples of the bladder, but when they, got in there, they decided to go ahead and take samples of the prostate. So, this is his fourth time under anesthetic in less than a year, general anesthetic. Excuse me, I've got sinus. Anyway, we went through that, and we waited and we waited, and finally, 2 weeks ago, the call, and they said, yes, it is back, positive, it is back. The bladder is clear as of now. There's nothing growing in there, but the prostate is. So, and it's not prostate cancer. It is the urothelial carcinoma that has landed in his prostate. So, Clay does not want his bladder removed. He's tried to talk them into just taking the prostate, but they will not do that unless they take the bladder too. So on the 12th of April, he's going back under general anesthetic for the 5th time in less than a year. They're going to scrape the prostate, clean it, open up a very small tube, which is where they believe it's at. You know, we have no positives, but that's where they believe it's at. It's a very small tube. They're going to open that up and fill it with BCG and go ahead and flush the bladder again with this BCG, and hopefully, I don't know if anybody knows about immunotherapy, but that's what this is. It's immunotherapy, and they're going to, do that. And the hope is that by flushing the bladder and prostate, his immune system will kick in and fight the cancer. It's not chemotherapy. It's used to treat tuberculosis, from what I understand. Something to do with tuberculosis. But anyway, it's a very, very dangerous drug for human contact. He's not allowed to use anyone else's toilets, for a period of time. He has to seclude himself to one toilet, and then that toilet has to be cleaned immediately with bleach. And, basically everything. Of course, anybody that knows me knows I keep a clean house. I'm not always tidy, but I keep a clean house. So anyway, that's not going to be an issue. The issue is this BCG is going to go into his bladder, and it's going to agitate it and get it all fired up, and then hopefully his immune system will kick in. Downside to this is he could get a very bad infection. Upside is it can help suppress this cancer. And this, we discuss it all the time. Of all the cancers in the world, he had to get the worst one. But we're going to fight it. We're hanging in there. We are very positive. We are realists. We know what the outcome eventually will be. We are not, in la la land here. It's all going to be fine. We're going to go home and it's going to be gone. I believe that reality finally hit him this week. They sent us some things to look at, and we have been on the internet all the time again. We're talking nonstop again. So we are researching, and we see nothing good about this drug, and the possibility of, it's not going to cure the cancer. Nothing will cure this cancer. It is unstoppable, but we're hoping it will slow it down. Now, most of the people that get this BCG are low grade, non-invasive, stage 0 to 1. Clay is stage 3, which means it is invasive. So, with that being said, we are very sure that he's strong enough. We have become healthy, or I should say we're becoming healthy. I watched a video of a lady called Jody, and hey Jody, if you watch this, she is battling metastatic breast cancer stage 4. She recently decided to stop all treatments because it is such a taxing thing on the body. And I understand completely what she's doing. I agree with her decision, and I'm not downing anybody that goes into treatment for cancer. I am not putting them down. I am simply saying I agree with her decision. And at some point, Clay will have to make that decision. How far do I want to go with this? I mean, this man has suffered for 6 years with issues and pain and bleeding, and only I know what he's went through, and and our dogs. I mean, they don't like it. But anyway, I agree with her decision. I believe it's up to the individual how far they want to go with this. And at some point, Clay will say, I'm done. But until then, we're going to enjoy life. We're going to, take our boat out on the lake. We're going to go to the beach. We're going to do all that we can do to make memories. And that's what it's about. I'm sorry. Making memories and enjoying what time you have on this earth. We have learned that the hard way this last year. I mean, we were just bebopping along. Yes, he was having some issues with his, they thought prostate at the time. Turned out it wasn't that at all. But anyway, we were enjoying Florida, enjoying retired life, and then boom, this hits you smack in the face. And reality is, we're not going to have 20, 30 years together. We're just not going to have that. Reality was that before. We knew when we got married that our time together would be limited because of our age. But now, even age is not a factor. So, and I just ramble on because I haven't been on here in a while, so get used to it. The process, back to the surgery, they will do that. He may spend one night in jail. God, that's what it is, jail. He may spend one night in jail, but in the hospital. But that's just precautionary in case there should be some unexpected bleeding or whatnot. I really don't understand that part, but it's a 2-hour procedure, so maybe they think they need to. I don't know. But anyway, he'll come home. He will be home for, I believe it's 4 weeks. No. That'll be 2 weeks. He'll have a follow-up in 2 weeks. Then they will, provided he's doing well with this first BCG treatment, they will schedule him for 6 more treatments. And he'll do that once a week for 6 weeks. And the trick to this, we're talking about a man that's already had bladder issues. Incontinence is a big issue right now. He would kill me if he knew I was saying anything about that. But he knows this is my page and I say what I want. But anyway, they will insert this BCG. And then he has to go home and wait 2 hours, which coming from Shands is almost an hour away from us. So he will have an additional hour to hold this stuff in and then, flush it out. But the issue he has is holding it in. So, it's a crapshoot whether this is going to work. But we're committed to this. He's agreed to do these 6 treatments. 7 in all, but beyond that, I don't know. He's not too keen on cancer treatments, period. He watched his brother suffer with pancreatic cancer, and the amount of suffering his brother did was unreal. I wasn't in the picture at that time, but he's told me the stories and how he, would cry in pain and how he did everything. He went to Cancer Centers of America, whatever that's called, flew out there, spent money he did not have, and that's another issue. When you're retired, you don't have a lot of disposable cash. You just don't. You have a fixed income and you know what you can spend, you know what you can buy. But when you're thrown this kind of a curve, and his brother wasn't even retired at the time, he was still working, so he was, he had to quit his job. And that is just one thing he does not want to do. He does not want to experiment this. Let's try this experimental drug. Let's try this. Let's do chemo. And, we've already been down the road with the chemo, dude, that neither one of us liked. You can't walk into a room and say, I can cure this, when you know you cannot. And then tell your tell your spouse that there's no need to come back if you're not going to do chemo. Well, I tell you this, we'll take our business elsewhere. That's just how we are. So the plan is to do the BCG, get that going, and pray to God that he doesn't have any kind of a allergic reaction or get the really bad infection that can happen, or it doesn't work. We just, you know, we're just hanging in the air right now. Basically, we are just hanging in the air, waiting and hoping and praying that this will work. We were clear for 3 months, then bang, 6 months, it's back. So it's a very aggressive cancer. It is incurable. It is, and in some cases it's manageable, but in other cases it's not. So it just depends on where you're graded and where it's, you know, they feel like the cancer that's in the prostate now was dropped from the kidney. So if it's that easily dropped from the kidney, then, you know, where else could it pop up? So that is an issue that we have to cross. Another issue that we're battling right now is his memory. And he fully understands he has a problem. Being put under general anesthetic 5 times in less than a year is not good for anybody's brain. But it's really not good for Clay's brain. He's having some really significant issues with that. So one instance is we searched for 2 weeks for a bag of fishing frogs that he accused me of throwing away. He thought he threw them away. I mean, we turned this place upside down looking for a bag of fishing frogs. He obsessed over that. Obsessed, you know, I spent $15 on a bag of fishing rods. Let it go. I'll buy you another bag. Let it go. But anyway, it's not funny, but it is funny now because we found the frogs. The frogs were already in his tackle box. He did not remember putting them in there. He does not remember taking them out of the bag. For all he knew, he was convinced they were still in the bag somewhere between the truck, the house, and the shed, or in the garbage. So that's just one minute issue that we've had. There have been others, and he's off to Daytona today to take some lights back from the bike. He purchased the wrong lights for his motorcycle, so he's taking them back. He's in the truck. He's not on the bike, which is a good thing, but I fear that he'll get lost. That's how bad he's getting, and we don't know if this is long-term, if this is just short-lived, if it'll clear itself up. We don't know, but you best bet that Miss Kim here is going to have a talk with the doctor. So thus is our life right now, and we just are hanging out. I've been painting to keep my mind off of it. We are in the gym, and I will say that this man is fit. He's fit. He is in the gym 3 days a week. He either swims or he works out. He's a year older than I am, but I can't keep up with him. I just can't keep up with his pace. Not only am I shorter, but I just can't keep up with his energy. Where he gets it, I think a lot of it is just sheer will. He knows that if he stops, he will stop. So he's in the gym 3 days a week, and we are, like I said, I'm painting, and he feels an urgency to get everything fixed around here. I've got a hair floating around somewhere, and I just can't find it. But anyway, we have a rider lawnmower. I'll tell you some funny stories. Riding lawnmower that I like to use simply for the fact that my legs are too short to push mower all the way around this property. It just wears me out. So I like using the rider where I can. And we don't have that much property. We really don't even need a rider, but we have it. So anyway, we decided last year we had to pick up leaves. We had to rake them and pick them up, and rake them, pick them up. So in the fall last year, Clay decides to get a bagger for the lawnmower, and these things aren't cheap. So he gets the bagger, gets it on, gets it going, and he's pretty intelligent as far as I mean, he's intelligent, but he's very knowledgeable in um, gears and all that kind of stuff. So he gets the bagger going, and he's out here one day, and I'm out in the yard, and I smell a god awful smell. I smell like burnt rubber, and I looked around, smoke's just flying out of the lawnmower. And he, I waved him down. I said, "Hey, you got a trail behind you?" He said, "What?" And I said, "Look." He didn't even know that it was smoking. So he shuts it off, and sure enough, a flap thing wasn't secured, and it came loose. The belt was burning, and blah blah blah. Anyway, we had to order a new belt. Well, this is another issue of the memory. He orders the belt online, and we have an AgPro just probably less than 7-8 miles from our house. But he ordered it online. The belt came, and he went out to put it on. It's the wrong belt. So he comes back in, he says, "Well, that place sent me the wrong belt." I said, "Well, just send it back and order another one." So he did. Sent it back, ordered another belt, and next belt comes in, it's the wrong belt. He said, "I just can't believe that place is sending me the wrong belt." And I just, I didn't say anything. I said, "Just pack it up, send it back, it's free to return it." So he sent it back, ordered a third belt. That belt came back wrong. And I said, "Are you sure you're putting in the right part number?" "Yes, it's the right part number. I know it is." And I said, "Well, what I would do is I would ship that one back, and then let's just drive over to AgPro and see if they got the right belt in stock." So that's what we did. Sure enough, they had the right belt. So he's in between putting the lights on the bike and fixing the lawnmower. He's trying to get that done, but he's around here trying to do things, get things caught up, fixing anything that might be broken, and you know rummaging around the house looking for things. "Is there anything you need me to fix? Anything that needs fixed?" And I said, "No, I don't think so. I think we're good." I said, "We do need to move the 400-pound entertainment center out so I can finish my paint the ceiling. So we'll do that." But anyway, it's been a journey for the last 3 months, to say the least. It's been a journey. We've had good days. We've had really, really bad days. And we've had days that I didn't know if we were going to pull through mentally. I don't know where we're going to go. We know what we want. Excuse me. We know what we want to happen. We know where we want to be, but reality is what it is. So we're just hanging in there one day at a time, trying to keep our sanity. I told a friend the other day, I said, when this is all over with, I'll probably be an alcoholic, and I don't drink. So that's how stressful it gets sometimes around here. We just don't have any answers. Neither one of us like living in limbo. We like knowing where we're going, what we're going to do, and a simple, easy life. We don't like stress. We don't like drama. That's why we're in Florida. So the next week is the week before pre-op, so we plan to head to Clearwater, to spend a day down there. We do day trips now because for the next 12, 14 weeks he's going to be out of commission. So we're going to take some day trips again and try to enjoy what we can in between these BCG infusions. So I think that's it. Do you like my Sarah Coventry pearls? I acquired these, and I love Sarah Coventry. I know it's costume jewelry, but I love it. I just like the style of it. So I put those on today. I got my old, believe it or not, I have my old paint clothes on today. I am going to be painting or caulking, one or the other. It's kind of a rainy day, so probably just some caulking. Anyway, my voice is getting weak, so I'm going to get off of here. You guys have a great day, a great rest of your week, and just remember the Dixons in Florida.